What is going on to you Virgos out here? Hope y'all having a great day. So for you Virgos have the Hanged Man, the Four of Swords, and you have the Queen of Wands. So Pisces energy, immediately, the Hanged Man represents Pisces energy. Hanged Man and the Moon. So yeah, so immediately the first card, opposite zodiac sign in Pisces. A lot of you, there's a lot of people who think that you Virgos are wrapped around their finger, and a lot of you Virgos are disconnecting the attention that you are giving them, pretty much. A lot of you Virgos now have the perspective of, we're going to see if, you're that worthless, and that if you're not worth anything as much as people try to make it seem. Because there's a sense of you Virgos not really giving your attention to too many people. That's pretty much been a customary thing where it's like you're kind of tapering off the attention. And a lot of people are starting to notice it. Because, again, they think that they have you Virgos wrapped around their finger, where you're up underneath their control, right? And that's not what it is at all. It's just that you're giving them a chance. You're giving this person or these people a chance to actually come to their senses. But a lot of you Virgos are starting to also wake up to that too, of how far gone they are, right? People will ruin their lives for their ego. They will really ruin it. They will ruin it. They will go to their everlasting days, right? However old they live up to, right? With that. So a lot of you Virgos are realizing that you gotta essentially cut your losses, right? Manage or taper off your losses, or taper off the games that are being played, so that you don't end up being someone chasing up on after people to like you and all of that. And the Three of Pentacles and the Page of Cups represent, you're really starting to see the desperation, because now it's you Virgos are busy because you don't have the time. And see, that's another thing too, right? Like, one thing that I don't like, and this is just me, right? Like, other people don't have to agree with it, but I'm a Virgo myself. And one thing that I don't like is when people tell me that they like me. Because because here's the thing, right? Far too often people will tell me that they like me, but again, they just talking, right? All they doing is talking. Talking is cheap. Like, okay, cool, you talking and all of that, cool, but I need to see something. Show me what you're gonna bring to the table. And it's like, oh, I like you, and then but they're still with the sense of superiority, like, oh, you still need to do everything. And it's like, but I thought this thing was gonna be mutual. And it's like, oh, still the same trash that I see here in the States. See that from anybody, no matter where it is that they go. No matter where in the world. There's people like that every country in the world, right? But I'm not looking for those type of people who are fugazi, right? Delusional all over the world with it, delusional, right, off their rocker, short yellow bus, just ditzy and stuff like this, who don't really live in reality, right? Oh, I like you, but then it's like they don't actually do anything. If you're gonna tell me that you like me, that means that you gotta come on with it. You gotta show up with some actions. Don't just talk about it. You gotta be about something too, because I'm looking at that. And once again, you Virgos are seeing how people are losing their minds behind this stuff. Because the Page of Cups is, now that you Virgos are not giving them attention, it's like they're like, oh, I'm not going to give you attention either. I'm going to ignore you as well, right? And all you Virgos are doing is really seeing or peeping how they're dootsy bots. They're losing their freaking mind. They're really descending more and more into dysfunction, because You Virgos are not the ones that get anything for the value that you're actually worth anyway. You don't get anything. And then people are going to tell you that they're just going to ignore you, but it's too late. They already ignored you and treat you like trash. They already don't look at you. They already look at you like you're a ghost or something like that. Shrugs my shoulders, right? So what is the plan here? For them to double down. That's what they think is going to get you. For them to double down on looking through you and insulting you passive aggressively, which all of their passive aggressive actions, they really don't want smoke. Because if you bring it to them and you go, hey, Goofy, why are you being passive aggressive, Goofy? Then they play the victim and act like they don't know what it is that you're talking about. But the first question that comes to my mind is, how does somebody not know when they're ignoring you? And there's no real rhyme or real justifiable reason as to why they're ignoring you. They can't say, oh, well, I'm ignoring you because of this reason and you deserve it because you did something to me. So you're putting on an act. Because there's only two real reasons why it is that you're doing this goofy stuff. Either you've offended somebody, either you Virgos offended somebody in a real way that crossed the line, or it's an act. And the thing is that the Seven of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune right here represents how they now have to deal with the fact that you Virgos are not paying attention to them anymore. And you see how it is that on both sides, both has weight on their back. But both of those people or entities or individuals are carrying their own weight in different directions. That represents you Virgos separating yourself spiritually and mentally and physically from a lot of people who wouldn't be a good match for you in a relationship anyway. So there's a lot of you Virgos getting to know people, but learning about them very quickly, in that, you know, they're not going to give you that attention. And it's not you Virgos being desperate for attention. It's the kind of attention where they actually see you. Right? They're not you know, projecting the dysfunction in or injecting the dysfunction into the relationship, right? Waiting until you agree to be with them and then they start to pull the stupidity. No, they're already projecting the dysfunction onto you and stuff like this or whatnot. You know, the narratives, you know, whatever delusions that they feel like, whatever delusions that they want to play, right? There's a lot of people playing make-believe and dress up and tea party, and there's a lot of people like that out here. There's a lot of people who are creating a lot of narratives for themselves that end up having them be very single. So the reason why these two things go in different directions is because the wheel of the Seven of Pentacles represents they're waiting for some form of compensation. They, you know, they have different price tags, you know, but ultimately everybody's essentially going to pay a cost, right? It's just that for you Virgos, they figure that you need to pay up right now, right? And the Wheel of Fortune represents you Virgos being like, no, you're not willing to pay because it's not transactional. And your fortune or your life is changing for the better because you're learning how to carry your own weight, right? In the sense that, once again, you don't have to give people attention. You don't have to hang around them. You don't have to take them seriously. You don't. And a lot of people, their delusion of grandeur is getting them jammed up because of it, because they don't understand that if you treat people like trash, if they have self-respect, they're going to leave the person looking stupid because they don't want that. See, the truth is that those individuals, they're the ones that's really desperate for attention. Because when you don't give them attention, they lose their minds, literally. And I know this for a fact because I'm really seeing it in my own life. How a lot of people who, I don't know, like, you know, they're just like proud. They don't even know what they're proud about, but they're okay. And I'm like, all right, okay, it is what it is. And they need attention, some shape, form, or fashion. And it's like, this is a huge problem because you treat people like trash. You treat people like fans, right? Like they're a wild groupie fanatic. And you act like you're a celebrity, and this is why it is that I say that you can't get caught up with the games, because even that too is an act. The whole thing is a lie. You can't tell either way. So the Ace of Cups, the Empress, and the Four of Cups represents, right, you Virgos moving forward, speaking to other people, right? And if they ignore you and act like they don't see you or whatever, you're not going to engage, right? There's a big theme of Virgos really taking back their own attention, that maybe a person gets a lot of attention, but they're not going to get your attention. And a lot of people low-key can't really deal with it because they need attention, as much attention as possible. And even if one person says, "No, I'm not going to really give you," they can't take that. So let's clarify the Four of Cups. The Devil, Page of Swords, Knight of Swords, Six of Pentacles, Nine of... Ooh. Yeah, they're losing their minds. They're slowly descending into madness. These five cards are prolific, prophetic, heavy, serious, deep. The reason why is because it doesn't just represent you Virgos. These five cards are a representation of anybody who's getting caught up in this, right? The Devil, the Page of Swords, and the Knight of Swords. The amount of attention that people want versus what it is that they're actually getting is starting to dwindle. And I've been talking about it for the whole year, and it's gonna get worse and worse for people who are not serious with this. That like it's times are changing. The times for all the game plan is it is changing, right? People don't want to hear that, but it's factually correct. It's changing. It don't matter who you are. If you don't show somebody that you into them, people will start being like, okay, well, then don't waste my time. Get out of here then, goofy. And what I'm trying to say is that the Devil and the Page of Swords represents people are losing their minds. It's this, see, you Virgos got to understand, it's profound because it represents, it's deeper than just only you. It represents what are the whole species. It represents what are a lot of people gonna do when people stop watching their TikToks. If and when people realize, oh, you use this as an outlet because you kind of out of your mind. And if you don't have anybody paying you attention, you really gonna lose your mind. You're a vampire. You have to have attention. You have to feed every couple of hours because if people are not giving you, like, you don't actually mean any kind of real profound good for the people who is giving you attention. You want to feed off of these people spiritually. But what happens when people don't give you attention now? You're starting to see how a lot of people are going to become spiteful. They're going to be angry. They're going to reach out to you, Virgos, and be upset. And it just represents not just you, Virgos, and the experiences that you're going through. It represents the time that's changing, how the Six of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups is about how a lot of you, very much so, you're seeing it because the control is starting to slip. Now what happens when people who you don't show any kind of appreciation to stop paying attention to you? Now you really don't exist to them anymore. And it's not because you don't exist as far as if somebody walks to you and then they bump into you and stuff like this, whatnot. It's they don't exist on in a different way, in a sense that they're not rocking with those types of dysfunctional people. And again, it's that control where you, Virgos, may experience people calling you, crashing out on you, going off, talking about how X, Y, and Z, and you, Virgos, are like, click, just put down the phone, like, it is what it is. And they're like, oh, no, you didn't. A lot of people are going to be crashing out. That's pretty much it. And the reason why is because the world has to go through a correction, right? But that's it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Trying to get the YouTube channel to over 100K. We have 16,362. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, set the notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos.